Welcome to Flex Force Monday Night Team Calls. I'm super excited for tonight, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but reminders, make sure if you haven't been going through the new Flex Training Academy, guys, I'll put it in the chat here. Make sure you're in that group and going through the videos and implementing them. It leaves nothing to guesswork. The business activity tracker is everything. Make sure you're doing that if you want your business to be a business. There is no in between, like either you're building a business or you're not, so you're not like kind of sort of building a business. Anyway, so I will do the raffle at the end for our PD for the being live on the call. I'll do that at the end. Somebody don't let me forget. Somebody be like, Rachel, what are you doing? But anyways, I think, and my other announcement is in FlexForce spam, Gina Kish posted that there's like an open Zoom link. Anytime you are working on your computer and you want to hop in there, you can click it. It's saved as an announcement, so it will be saved at the top. You can always click announcements if something else gets announced. And so that's a lot of us, our favorite time is post-team calls when the fire is hot, is to continue working. So go ahead and click that link post-call if you want to get some awesome work done, and I bet you're going to be inspired. I won't be on there this time because Cassidy and I are doing tradesies, so I'll be on her team call. So, but I'll hop on after. And you can just do that at any time throughout the day. Like it's open. It's like the virtual gym. So it's going to be super awesome. And you can always like text your friends, be like, hey, are you working? Do you want to hop on and like hang out together? And it's a super fun thing to share about on your stories. So that's seriously enough from me. So let me seriously introduce Cassidy because she is freaking awesome. You guys are going to be so excited about this call. So, Cassidy and I, we kind of met in Josh's group, right? In like one of those groups. Anyways, but we really connected because we're both in the Transform 20 test group, and you guys are gonna love this program when it comes out. We're just getting into week 6, our last week, and we're like seriously obsessed. Like, wait till you see this girl's transformation. Like, whoa, I'm totally gonna be sharing it because it's so good. Anyways, she's a 5-star coach. 5-star diamond. She was elite in 2018. And, I should have said this with this, but I got scatterbrained. She's also diamond in her second business center. So she's duplicating down for those of you that don't know what that means. And elite, she's elite for this year. And what that means is that she not only was growing her team exponentially, but her team was also growing, like producing results in their business. So it's super duplicable, or she has a duplicated business. I don't know how to say that. Obviously, she's been a speaker on the National Wake Up Call. She's a Success Club All-Star, which means she had Success Club all the time. And she started coaching while she was in college with 2 other jobs. So #BusyAF. And she went Emerald to Elite in a year. So if you guys don't know what that means, she went from Emerald, that's 2 coaches collectively. Then Diamond, you have 12 coaches in your organization. So 5-star means like times 5 that, because then you have 5 personally sponsored diamonds in your team. So she went from having 2 coaches on her team to a lot of personally sponsored coaches, plus 5 of them being her own personally sponsored diamonds. So I'm going to turn it over to you, girls. So excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks for the awesome introduction. I am super excited to chat with you guys tonight, and I just love Rachel, so I'm excited too for her to be on our call tonight. But I know that one of the things that I want to say first off is just I think that it's so easy to hear all those accolades and all these things and immediately put someone up on this pedestal. And I just want you guys to remove me from the pedestal for a minute, because I do this too. And I had a girl actually the other day reach out to me on Instagram, and she was freaking out that I had liked her comment in some training group we were on, because she's been obsessed with me since she was a baby coach. And I was like, girlfriend, take me off the freaking pedestal. I am no different than you. I'm a normal girl who just worked really hard. And that is seriously the truth. So I just want you guys to, kind of realize that first off, and know that anything that I talk about, anything you hear from accolades to all these other things of what other coaches have done, it's not for a place for you to, look up and be like, wow, I wish I could do that, or that's so cool. It's for you to see what's possible and see, take that as inspiration instead of envy, and be like, why not me? And that's exactly what I did. And that's where I have gotten so far so fast in this business. So I want to talk about with you guys tonight is the two things that I think are the most important things. And this is hustle and heart. And this is why I actually named my team this. We're called Team Hustle and Heart. Because I really think that the coaches that you see succeed in this business, the coaches that you see, stay in it long-term, etc., and see big success are the ones that have both of those things. You can hustle like a mofo and be a boss, but if you do not have the heart behind it, if you're not in it for the right reasons, if you are not sharing passionately and energetically and really pouring your heart out into people, then you're not going to, see the success you want. And vice versa. You can have all the heart in the world and you can be the most nicest person, the most caring, genuine, loving, awesome human being. But if you don't put the hustle behind it, you're also not going to go where you want to go. So those two things will take you farther than anything else, because if you're hustling, with the heart, you're going to make a huge impact and you're going to inspire people, and they're going to not only be inspired by you, but they're going to come in and want to do what you're doing. And so that's the biggest thing. So I have a couple points that I want to talk about tonight that were kind of turning points for me, or really big things. So Rachel kind of talked about a little of, where I've gone in my coaching journey, but I just want to take it back. Like, I have been a coach for 2 years as of November. So mid-November will be my 2-year anniversary. So I still feel like I'm a baby coach. I started this while I was going to school full time, working like 2-3 jobs, had a dog, had a boyfriend. So life was crazy. And I jumped all into this at once, had no idea what I was doing. I was studying apparel merchandising, so nothing related to health and fitness whatsoever. I found my coach in a random Facebook group that I was in, and I was like, I want that girl's abs. And so I reached out to her and I was like, how'd you get your abs? Like, what are you eating? Let me see your meal plan. And we started chatting, and I started, doing what everyone else does. I started creeping her page and stalking her for a while, until I was like, hey, what is this coaching thing? But I didn't really want to ask her. And so eventually I just dropped a comment or something to like join her info session. And we started chatting about it, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but I'm way too busy for this. Like, I don't need this. I did feel like I had hit a plateau in my fitness journey though. So I was interested in the challenge group, even though I was an athlete. So I wasn't so sure that it was going to work for me, but I asked her all the questions, like, can I get a refund? Can I cancel? Like, all the things. So I was like, what the heck? I'm going to give it a shot. So I signed up to do the challenge group. And at the same time, like I said, I had been watching her post for a while and talk about coaching and how much it had changed her life. And I was super intrigued in it, but also really skeptical. And she sent me a coaching webinar to watch that was like an hour long. And I was like, girlfriend, I do not have time for that. So I think I listened to like maybe 15-20 minutes of it while I was laying in a tanning bed. And that was enough. Like, I had kind of already made up my mind that I was going to do the challenge group. I'm all about saving money, so I'll sign up for the discount. And if I can help some people along the way, that would be awesome. But in the back of my head, like, that seed was so deeply planted already because of what she was sharing on her social media, because she was being so open, and because she was sharing the things that are so below surface level that really hit people's pain points, that hit people's pleasure points, that connect you guys. And that's truly what it was for me. It was not because Ruth is like, you know, a top 10 coach or because she's a superstar diamond. Like, no one outside of Beachbody gives a flying F about any of those accolades. They do not know what they mean. So, you know, that's where you have to take people off the pedestal, because it's not about those things. And that is not what's going to make you a good coach. And that's not what's going to make you recruit your dream coaches or anything like that. It is the getting below the surface level. And so for me, that was her sharing about those deep things that are hard to share about, like her sharing about how she had always wanted to have kids, and that she was really scared to bring children into the world, knowing that she wasn't in the place financially that she wanted to be. They had $245,000 of student loan debt. Her and her husband were fighting over money all the time, and she did not want to bring kids into the world and not be able to give them the life they deserved. And that is something that like really connected with me, because I had grown up not having a lot. My parents did everything they could, but they just could not afford very much. And we had to say no to things all the time. And for me, it just planted that like what I did not want and what I wanted, the life I wanted to give my children. And so when she said that, like that hit home for me. That was a pain point, you know? And then there were other things she talked about, like the community that was hitting those pleasure points for me, because after sports, being an athlete, I was so used to having that community, that team, and I didn't have that anymore, and I was missing it. And so all these little things that you might not think are super important from your story, from, you know, the way you feel, from the reason you started this, they're so important. And the more that you share them and share them consistently, that seed will keep getting planted. You never know who's watching, and you never know what day that unicorn coach is going to come to your page and need to see that exact post. Ruth and I had not been friends before that. We had not talked before that. If she would not have been consistently sharing all the pieces of her story, even though she shared it a million times before, I would not be here today. And so that's one of the biggest things. And then, you know, I signed up. I had no idea what I was jumping into, but I was like, this feels right. I feel like I want more. I want to get over this plateau in my fitness journey. So what the heck, I'm going to try this thing. And I jumped in from the beginning. And this is where I think that belief and confidence part comes in, which is one of my points that's really important, because as a brand new coach, having no idea what I was doing, jumping into the challenge group and coaching at the same time, I had to lean on my upline's belief, right? I had to lean on her confidence. So when you're starting out, like lean on Rachel, lean on your upline, because you're here because they believed in you, because they're confident that you can do this, or they would not have invited you to this team. And I leaned on her belief and the way that you grow your own, because that'll take you so far to get you started, but you have to learn how to build your own confidence. You have to learn how to build your own belief. And that starts by doing the things that I know you've heard a million times. It literally starts by committing 110% to your fitness journey, because when you do that, you're going to start to feel more confident. Like being in this test group has been huge and so amazing for me, because it's forced me to 100% recommit myself to my fitness journey, follow my meal plan, make me the top of my priority list, like all of the things that we can easily push off and make not a very big deal. The first time that you did a program and you got amazing results, like you felt so good. And if you haven't, then you need to commit, because that is seriously what gave me the confidence to start sharing about it, even as a brand new coach with no experience, no idea what I was doing. And then seeing all the people around me that were doing it, that made me confident that I could do it too. But you do have to build that confidence and belief in yourself. And that comes from just doing the things. You're not going to learn how to walk by watching other people do it. You have to get out there and you have to do it yourself. And you have to have that unwavering belief and confidence that it's going to happen no matter what. So when I started, I had no idea what I was doing, but I leaned on her confidence and her belief as I grew my own. And I didn't doubt that this wasn't possible. I didn't doubt that I couldn't do this because I saw other people doing it. So why couldn't I? It's just like when you're a baby and your parents are like trying to teach you how to walk. They don't have a doubt that you're not going to be able to walk, right? Even though you might fall on your face like 8 times, you might, take longer than they thought you would. They know that you're going to get there, and you don't have any doubt as a baby that you're not going to be able to walk. You just learn how to do it, and you learn through doing it. So that's the only way that you can build that belief and confidence, but that is going to take you so much farther than anything else. And so that belief and confidence, and then focusing on the controllables, you guys, this is huge, because that ignorance was kind of bliss for me as a new coach. I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no idea what other people were doing. So I wasn't getting caught up in that comparison game. That people would say these top coaches' name, and I didn't even know who they were. So it starts out, with focusing on the controllables, and those are not the numbers, right? They're not how many Success Club points you can get. They're not how many followers you have on Instagram. Those are not controllables. Yes, those are things that you need to make goals for and you need to work towards every single day. But instead, when you set that goal, that big, scary goal, like, you need to set a goal that's going to light you on fire. Because if you set your goal, something that you know you can achieve, that's easy, that's comfortable, you're going to get stuck there. You have to set a goal that is going to push you, that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you have to get creative. When I set the goal to be an elite coach, I didn't even know what elite meant. But I knew that it was a big deal, and I knew that other people had done it before me, and that I knew that it was what it was going to do for my team. I knew what it was going to do for my business, and I didn't know how to get there because I didn't even know what it was. I did not know how to get there, but I had the belief and the confidence that I was going to give it everything I could and focus on what I could control to get me there. And so obviously, yes, like if you're pushing for a big goal like elite or something like that at the end of the year, you guys, I went from 1 star to 5 star in like 2 or 3 months. So I didn't know what I was doing, but I had that goal and I had that belief, and I believed in my team, and I believed that it was possible, and I just went after it. I didn't focus on all the things I couldn't control. I didn't focus on the coaches that said they were going to do something and then they came in and they did nothing. I didn't focus on the cancellation emails. I didn't focus on, how many Success Club points I have. Like, yes, I did those things, but that's not what I focused on. I focused on the controllables. Was I diving 110% into my journey? Was I doing everything I could do? When you wake up every day and you choose to work out, that's a controllable. When you wake up every day and you choose to set the tone for your morning and win your morning instead of pick up your phone and get lost in social media for 2 hours, that's a controllable. When you choose to open up the fridge and, eat the salad instead of the French fries, like, that's a controllable. All of those things, doing your personal development, those are controllables. Sitting down and working your freaking business, sending the invites, all of those things are the controllables, and those are what is going to get you where you need to go. Not worrying about what so-and-so's doing. Not worrying about, that this coach said they were going to do this and now they're not. Not worrying about those that, this coach said they were going to be diamond by this date and now they're not there. Well, now I can't hit 5 star. So what? Go find someone else. I built my mom's account to diamond in a week because I didn't have the diamonds. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way. And the biggest part about that is when you focus on the how, that's when you start to lose track of why you're really doing this. That's when you start to lose the heart behind it. That's when you start to lose the passion and the joy and the excitement and the energy, which is what people are attracted to. If you have enough passion behind what you're doing, people would buy corn nuts from you. Like, it does not matter, you guys. Ruth could have told me that she was selling, I don't know, like trash bags, and I would have bought it because she had the passion. Okay. And so that's what attracts people, not those shiny things, not the numbers, not the amount of followers. Like, yes, you want to have, a good looking social media, but that's not what's going to get you where you need to go. It's the things that you can control and focus on. And part of that is your attitude. Part of that is your positivity. The energy you put out is what you're going to get back. And it's that whole law of attraction thing, which I thought was a bunch of like hoo-ha before, until I like set that goal and I went after it. And that's what I did, is I didn't focus on the how I was going to get there. I focused on what I could control and showed up every day and made sure, was I the coach today that, you know, if I want to be a 5-star elite coach, how does the 5-star elite coach act? What kind of activities do they do every day? Do they waste time scrolling social media? Do they waste time worrying about coaches that canceled? Do they waste time worrying about a coach that said they're going to do something and they didn't? Like, what is that kind of coach doing? And am I doing those things? And then, am I being the coach that I want to attract? Am I being the challenger that I want to attract? Because you are never going to attract something better than what you're doing, right? I am not going to sit here and press play 3 days out of the week and follow my meal plan half-assed and recruit rock star challengers that go all in and get awesome results. Like, it's not going to happen. You have to wake up every day and ask yourself, am I being the person that I want to attract? And if you do that, you will start to attract those coaches. You will start to, you know, attract those challengers. Your coaches will work the business like you are. And then the next thing is 10xing those income producing activities. You can 10x your making cute graphics all day, but that is not going to get you to elite. That is not going to get you in Success Club. Your invites, those controllable things, you guys, your follow-ups, your invites, your posting consistently on social media, like all of those things, those are the actions that you need to be 10xing, not the fluffy, fun stuff that we sometimes like to get caught up and say that like we're working and we're doing all this stuff when we're not doing those income producing activities, when those are what's going to take you there. When I had to build my mom account to diamond in a week, I was not worried about how great my, graphics looked for my team call. I was worried about how many people I could talk to, because it's a numbers game. And the more people you talk to, the more conversations you have going, the more no's you're going to get, but also the more yeses you're going to get. And when you have enough conversations going, you're not going to be worried about the no's. You're not going to even have time to focus on those things that distract you, because when you have so many conversations going, you're going to be able to focus on the ones that are actually going somewhere, instead of getting caught up rereading your message that you've seen that, Sally saw like 3 days ago and she still hasn't responded, and you keep going back to it. Like, girl, when are you going to respond? What the heck's wrong? And you start going down that train. And that goes back to, having that heart and passion behind everything you do. Okay. So the biggest thing that made me successful from the get-go was the passion I had, the excitement I had. When I got on, on my Instagram story and I was talking about my boot camp, I was talking about my challenge group, I was talking about the coaching opportunity or whatever it was, I was sharing passionately. I was sharing with excitement. I was giving people a reason to want to be a part of what I was doing. I was not getting on there. Even when I wasn't confident, you fake it till you make it. If someone is on there and they're like, oh, like in your conversations too, you guys, you cannot be in your conversation with someone and be like, oh, well, like I'm doing this thing and it's kind of cool. Like, I think you'd like it, but I don't know if it's not your thing. Like, it's totally cool. Like, that's not going to make me want to do what you're doing. But if you're like, dude, this is freaking changing my life. Like, I feel like a new human. I don't know why you're not doing this. Literally, it's going to change your freaking life. You're going to love it. And I can't wait to crush our goals together. What are you doing? Like, why are you not in my group yet? If you're confident about it and you are passionate, people are going to feel that. And they're going to be drawn to it. You are attracted to people that have confidence. You're attracted to people that are passionate, that are excitement. Like, think about those people that you just draw to. And that's what I was drawn to Ruth about, was she had that glow of just like happy. She had that passion, that excitement. And I wanted that in my life. And so I was wanting to do whatever she was doing to have that. And the next thing is just being vulnerable and staying authentic. And this, kind of connects with that passion and that excitement and everything. I think it's so easy to get caught in that comparison trap. And I got there for a long time too. And it hurt me and it hurt my business. Because if you're driving a car and you're constantly like looking over here, like you're going to crash and you are not going to get to your destination. And if you keep switching lanes, or you're like, oh, rerouting, this route's faster, rerouting, like you're not going to get there, or it's going to take you 10 times longer because you're going to take this other path thinking that it's a shortcut. And then you're going to realize that you're going the complete wrong way. Now you have to U-turn and go all the way back and start all over. And it just keeps going. And you just keep like getting in this cycle of not getting anywhere where you need to be. And then pretty soon you completely lose track of where you're even going. You guys, you will lose your destination. So you have to stay focused in your lane, and you have to just pick that goal that you're going to, it's close to the end of the year. So don't pick 10 goals you're going to focus on and go all in on all of them. Pick one big goal, and don't pick a goal because it's what you think Rachel wants. Don't pick a goal because it's what you think that you should do. Pick a goal that like really means something to you. Pick a goal that is going to fire you up. Pick a goal that is going to, make you want to show up every day on the days that you don't want to. Because if you pick diamond just because you think that's what someone else, what you should be or what you should be going after, and it doesn't have meaning behind it to you, you're not going to show up on the days when you don't feel like it. You're not going to have the passion. You're not going to have the joy, the excitement. You have to want it, and you have to want it bad enough. Because like I said, I did not have the diamonds. We ended up hitting elite on midnight of the last day of qualification. Freaking midnight. And the whole entire time, like, yes, it was stressful. Yes, I could have easily been like 2 days before, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to give up. Like, it's all over. No, it's not over until it's over. And you better bet I was going to do everything within my power to make it happen. And you have to set that big, scary goal, because if I would have set my goal at Premier, I can guarantee you I never, ever, ever would have hit elite, and I never would have came close to it, because I would have fallen short and kept myself in that comfort zone. And instead, I would have been on midnight of the day before Thanksgiving trying to push for Premier. But instead, I had that big goal, and I had to get creative, right? I had to sign up my mom and get her to diamond with all discount coaches and buy my brother a challenge pack for Christmas to get to where I needed to be, because I wasn't going to let go of it, And if I set that goal at elite, sure, that was scary and that was huge and that was a push. But in going after that, I was going to get myself so much farther than I ever would if I didn't set that goal, right? If you set your goal at Success Club 10, then okay, sure, you might hit 5. And if you hit 10, like, awesome, that's great. We don't usually hit our goals. If you set them big enough, like you shouldn't be. And so if you set your goal at Success Club 30 and your best is 10 and 30 is like scary for you, but you go after it, you're going to get yourself closer, right? Either way, like, you're going to move your business forward, and you're probably going to surprise yourself. And even if you don't hit 30, if you hit 20, like, that would be amazing. That's the best you've ever done. So don't be afraid to set those big goals that scare the crap out of you and go after them, because I promise you, even if you do not hit the goal, if you know that you did everything in your power to get you there, you're going to be just as excited as if you hit the goal. If you do everything that you know you could control, one, there's no way in heck your business is not going to move forward. There's no way that you're not going to grow as a person. There's no way that your team isn't going to grow, that things aren't going to happen. But second, you're still going to be able to celebrate it, because you're probably going to surprise yourself and hit something else you didn't even think was possible or that you've never done before. But you have to push yourself outside of that comfort zone. And sometimes it literally means like you have to just jump off that ledge and be like, you know what? I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't see that it's like, I don't even know how it's possible, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to try with everything I have, and I'm going to do what I can control. And I'm just going to go after it. And if I don't get there, who the heck cares? Like, I'll try again next year. there is no, your goals do not expire, right? If you don't get it, like, so what? Push the date and go after it again. It doesn't just go away. Like, you have the chance every single day to get up and choose what you do to move yourself forward. I think that's all I have.
Oh my gosh, does everybody have like goosebumps? Like that was like the biggest mic drop ever too. Um, okay, you guys, like start putting your questions in the chat. Are you cool with questions?
Yeah, I love questions.
Cool, I love questions. I like live. That's like I live for questions at the end. So okay, I'm gonna start because that's like a privilege of running the team calls, right? Is getting to go first. So I am like a firm believer on like that's what makes a difference is showing up when it's hard and that making the difference for growing your business. So what makes you like push or like how do you remind yourself to show up when it's hard?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to setting those goals that mean something to you. And for me, like, even this last year, for a little while, I found myself getting caught in like the goals that everyone else was setting, or feeling like I needed to set this goal because that was like the next rung thing, or like this is the direction I should be going, etc. But it didn't really align with like what my values were, or what, was most important priorities to me. So if your family is your priority, then what do you need to do to, make whatever that goal is that aligns back to your family? So for example, if you want to take your family on a vacation, how are you going to make that happen? Well, maybe you do need to hit diamond because that is the starting point. Maybe you need to hit 2-star because that's where you're going to open your second business center, and that's where the income actually is like coming in. So whatever it is, or maybe you just, you want an extra $200. And so you're going to hit Success Club 50, or like whatever it is, you have to figure out what your priorities are, what your values are. And then you have to align goals that match it. And then you have to have that in front of you somewhere. You're going to see it every single day. And I write them, like I write it down every morning. I do goal setting and visualization. And I look at I have my goals in front of me. And then I also, have those big goals, and then I break them down, right? Because you can't like look at this giant goal, like elite, that was huge and that was scary. And if I was like trying to figure out all the things that I needed to do to somehow get to elite when I didn't even know what it meant, I would have been like in overload and done nothing. So you have to break it down into smaller things. And like I said, focus on those controllables, but the goal has to have meaning behind it. And so for me, like, that was what made me want to show up. Elite wasn't what made me want to show up every day. Like, that has no value to me. For example, I said this from the beginning when I was a brand new coach. The first time, like, I hit Success Club 118 like last year in February. It was during a team cup, and I didn't even know I hit it. I didn't even know like what Success Club was, you guys. I wasn't focused on that. I knew that I wanted to help people. And so I set this goal for myself, not to hit Success Club 118. I set a goal for myself that was going to that was going to push me, that was going to, tie to my like heartstrings. And so I set the goal that I was not going to go to bed at night knowing that I didn't help someone, because I was in this because I wanted to help people. I didn't even know like how Success Club points worked, etc. I just wanted to freaking help people. And I felt so good that I wanted everyone else to feel that good. And setting, Success Club, where those points didn't have value to me, right? Like, yes, the recognition was cool, but those weren't going to, give me all the feels. Like, it was that helping people. It was that knowing that I was changing someone's life. Like, that's what mattered to me. So even now, like, I set my Success Club goal, but I focus on how many lives I want to change. So that's kind of what I did with Elite. And then I broke it down and I set that goal, of I'm going to help one person every single day, instead of just looking at Success Club 100. Oh my God, I'm going to help 50 people this month. And then you freak out and you're like, I can't do that. And you give up. But if you're like, when I started, I thought you had to hit Success Club every week. So that's what I did. So if, like, you get to set your own, your own expectations for yourself. And whatever you tell yourself, like whatever goals you set, that's what it'll be. Like, after I found out it wasn't, I could have easily just been like, oh yeah, like I'll just hit Success Club every month. But then it's so easy to procrastinate, you know? So I have to break my goals down, and I have to have something weekly and something daily that I'm focusing on that I know I can achieve. And even if that helping someone every day, that might not always be with a challenge pack, right? Helping someone today could be opening the door for the little old man at Starbucks. Like, that's still helping someone. So focus on like the wins too every day, because if you don't celebrate along the way, then even if you achieve the goal, you're not going to be like, it's not going to feel good. You have to learn how to celebrate the small things along the way, because that will keep you going.
Oh my gosh, I love that reminder, because I personally am not good at that. I'm always like, okay, let's keep going. I'm like, no, you have to stop and celebrate. That's a new learning thing for me. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, I have like a little journal book that I write wins in, and every day, like every night before bed, it's in my like dresser drawer. And I write down like 3 things that were like a win today or something good. And then I have like a document on my, a Google Doc on my computer, where anytime I get like a message from a challenger or a coach, or just like somebody posts something inspiring about me or our group or whatever, I like save them all in there, so that any day where I'm feeling like, oh, nothing is going right, I'm not going to hit my goals, like no one wants to do this with me, like I suck, I just go in there and I look at that and I like get all the feels, and I get so excited. I'm like, I'm going to message 300 people today.
That's amazing. And you can tell like it pours out into your, like it's pouring back out of you and your energy. Like I can tell it's like super evident. It's amazing. Robin wants to know, where did you really start seeing momentum in your business? Did you have like a specific turning point that you remember?
Let's see. So honestly, like from my first month, I hit Success Club 14 and I signed up like halfway through the month. But it was because like from day one, I was doing all the things, right? I was not just posting, like I was inviting every single day, at least 20 people, like every single day. And I mean, some days I would get like 5 or whatever if I didn't have time, but I would make up for it on the weekends. Like I set goals for myself and I made it non-negotiables. And I looked at like, you know, Success Club and that as like rent. Like I'm not going to be here if I don't do it. And so it's not even like a question. There is no like, oh, I wonder if I'll hit Success Club this month. Like I start panicking at like the 10th if I'm not in Success Club 10. And you know, those goals can be different for every single person, but I do think you need to set those expectations and minimums for yourself. And then you have to match your freaking goals with action. You guys, you can't set these big goals like elite and like all this stuff and then invite 3 people a day. Like it's not going to happen. You have to match your goals with action. And so I think like I've had momentum like the entire time, but obviously the momentum turned up when I turned up, right? When my energy turned up, when my actions turned up, when I started sending more invites, having more conversations, the momentum will grow. And it's that action, like it just creates momentum. So anytime I feel like I'm lacking momentum, I take more action. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, totally. And I love, first of all, your analogies are life. Like my team was laughing, like putting in the chat, because they know I love analogies. They're like sort of a turn on. Like I just think they just speak to me, you know. Anyways, but I love your analogy about Success Club is like keeping rent. Like it's you know, paying rent on your business. And I think that's such a great way to think about it. No, it's not. You don't have to be Success Club points focused, but it is important to hit bases to keep your business open. So I think that's huge. I love that. What is your favorite personal development book ever? And then what's your favorite leadership purpose?
Okay. So the first book I ever read was You're a Badass. And I still like love that one. I've listened to it probably like 100 times. So that's like my favorite book. And then I have so many though, I feel like. Leadership, I love the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I've listened to that a few times. That's a really good book. And I think every time I listen to it, I like catch a little bit more or a little bit different things to pull from it.
Love. Does anybody else have any questions? We have like 2 minutes.
When I was pushing for Elite and that we were in that huge push, I did listen to The Universe Has Your Back, and that was huge during that for me because I totally believe like there's different PD books for different times. That was huge for me during that because I needed that reminder that like I didn't need to focus on the how, like the universe had my back and I just had to go after it. So that was huge during that. And then the other thing I listened to during that, I feel like I listened to something else. I don't remember what it was, but I read The Secret when I was on the beach in Mexico. And so it was like all the law of attraction kind of stuff was like going in me.
That's so cool. I love it. And I think it's so true. Like the same PD book can mean so many different things. You read it at a different point in your life. I think that's so true. Last question we'll do, where is your market right now? And I guess kind of talk about how that's changed, like Instagram, Facebook, I assume market.
I started out on Facebook and then now it's like pretty much all Instagram. I still have some Facebook, but I feel like Facebook for me now is more maybe like challenge group clients. Most of my coaches come from Instagram. But I still use both and I get people from both, but it was Facebook in the beginning and now it's primarily Instagram. And pretty much cold market. I mean, I'll randomly have a warm market person from like high school or something on Facebook that has been watching for 2 years. But other than that, it's mostly cold market.
That's so funny that you said that because my husband was just like, Rachel, our 10-year high school reunions are going to come up. Like, are we going to go? It's like,
oh my gosh, I know. That's so crazy.
It's funny that you said that. But I think that's like so true for so many coaches. Like, and that's just kind of the change of social media. And that's part of our job is just to keep up with the change. Like, who knows, in 2 years, like Instagram could be irrelevant. Like, like nobody uses. We don't know. MySpace could come back from.
Right. I mean, you never know. Or like I've had a couple coaches on our team whose like pages got like just shut down and gone, poof, gone. So, you know, having those, that's why I still use both, because if my Instagram's gone, at least like I've been consistent on Facebook still, or whatever, like maybe use Snapchat. I don't know.
Right.
Twitter.
Right. There's so many, there will always be something. It's just our job to stay up with it and change time. So
the one other book I would say that is like a game changer for me, especially in the very beginning, was The Compound Effect. And it's kind of a boring like listen, but the principle is huge. And that's honestly what made me like, okay, just consistently show up every day, even if you're just doing this amount, and then like seeing how the numbers compound over time, because that's where I saw like, okay, if I put in more invites and have more combos, then it might not pay off right now, but like a year from now, I'm going to see the fruits of that labor.
So true. I actually love that book. And I would recommend it to people and they were like, Rachel, no, dry, so dry. I'm like, I know, but it's actually so good. So I totally agree with you. So Cassidy, thank you so much. Did you guys like seriously love that or what? Oh, everyone's like blowing up my phone. Everyone always does it after we have like an awesome team call. So yep, it's awesome. Yay. Everybody loved it. So thank you so much. I can't wait to repay you with your team call. Gina W., you are our winner of our PD book. And I'm sending you, She Means Business. So DM me your address for me and have an awesome rest of your night, guys. Make sure if you want to work, hop on the virtual work sesh. You know what I mean? Okay. Have a good night, guys. Bye.